Hello my stitching friends! Today I would like to show you 10 cross-stitch designs that I would be happy to purchase. Throughout the year I save designs that I like somehow. Then once a year, usually right before my birthday, I create top 10 wish list of my favorite designs so that I can maybe buy myself a present. Today I will show you such a list. Of course this video is not sponsored and I will only show my preferences. First of all, I want to show you this beautiful deer. This is a cross-stitch kit that is named Forest Spirit. I love deer in embroidery and I already have several finishes. But in this work I was amazed by the light passing through the trees and through the leaves. It seems to me, looking at this picture, I almost feel the breath and sounds of the forest. This design is sold by a Russian company called Riolis. If you will be interested in any of the designs that I mentioned in this video, below in the description box you can find all the links to the designer pages, to the stores, to the designs, so please feel free to check it out. My number 2 is Octopus Treasure Cave. I was coming across this mandala a couple of times before. This design is not new and many embroiderers have beautiful finishes already. But until a certain point, I didn't see anything special about this design. Maybe you also think now, and you look at this and it's like, yeah, it's one of many and there's nothing special about it. But you need to really see the finishes to feel the beauty of this octopus. Please have a look how all the beads and the special threads make a difference. Look at these colors. I'm absolutely speechless. I would not expect this project to be anyhow easy one, but results in finish is absolutely worth it. That beautiful design was created by Martina Rosenberg, who unfortunately has passed away already. Her brand, however, continues to live, and I hope I will have enough money one day to purchase this octopus kit. The next in my wish list is the project by Laura J. Perrin. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. If not, then I'm sorry. I'm sure you are familiar with her recognizable style. Her projects not always are stitched with the cross-stitch, and foremost it's stitched with different other techniques. I sincerely like many of her designs. Look at these cute animals, they are so cute, that's unbelievable. Or these beautiful flowers. Now I look at these pictures and I want to stitch all of them. But the one that I chose for my wish list, for my top 10 this year, is this turquoise bear collage. I like the colors, the motif and the atmosphere. I think this project would be very interesting to work on. Next in my list is designer called Catherine Kislova, or you can also know her brand called Mama Witch X Stitch. Catherine creates cute stories of forest animals, and also frogs become a frequent guest of her stories. She has this distinguishable style because her pictures are really cute, but at the same time a little bit spooky. Also, almost all of her patterns are embroidered on a black background. I can't choose one design I like the most, so here are several examples that I would like to stitch. I think I would be enjoying stitching some of her cute frogs. The other design is by Peppermint Purple. This is a brand located in UK. However, I couldn't find the name stain behind the brand. But what we know, this designer specializes on the blackwork designs. For my top 10 this year, I have chosen Beach Black Work Design, and it is fascinating how the designer managed to create such a simple but at the same time interesting design using the black work technique. One can easily recognize the beach and the sea, the waves, and I really love the yellow skies here. So this project is my number 5 in my wish list. The next one is created by Jane from Rowan and Rose Designs, and this is absolutely amazing polar light biscarnu. I like how it turned out stitched on the black Aida, and more you look, more details you can notice. So polar bear, of course, with the baby bear, polar lights, snowflakes, and if you look at the polar lights, they are created just in anyhow amazing technique. So this is just cross stitches and the half stitches, but how it looks, it's really beautiful. I think the project is not sophisticated in any sense, and it would be just a pleasure to stitch, and resulting biscarnu is very beautiful. So no doubt this is one of the projects in my wish list for this year. Next would be the creation of one of my favorite Ukrainian cross-stitch designers, Olena Living on the Rainbow. She has recognizable style in which she creates tough cross-stitched ornaments, and she uses very unusual threads and floss in her designs, including whisper, metallic, and many more. And this is exactly the case for my Alice in Wonderland ornament series that I choose to add to my wish list this year. It's just incredible how one can create such beautiful ornaments using long-time known cross-stitch techniques. On February 24th this year will be exactly a year since Olena is living in the war zone. And despite of this, she continues creating an amazing ornament designs. Not just one, but many new ones appeared in her Etsy store. So I will really appreciate it if you will check her store on Etsy. So again, all the links how to find designers and projects from this video you can find below in the description box. And let's move to the number 8. And this is project of Amanda Delon in her recent book called Pantheon. And this book simply stole my heart. I would like to buy it right now, and I would do it if the paper printed version of the book would be still available. However, on Etsy now you can only buy digital copy. You can download this version, and if it won't change in the near future, if there will be no more paper books, I think I would still buy it. But let's see, yeah. Pantheon is a collection of 16 cross-stitch patterns inspired by Greek mythology, including Artemis, Athene, Hercules, Iris, Hermes, and many more. I like a lot of designs here, but my favorite one is one with Fate Sisters. And this is what Amanda herself writing about the design on Instagram. Arguably one of the most powerful of all the Greek figures, no god or mortal defied the will of the fates. Each mortal's life is represented by a red thread. Clotho spins the thread, Lachesis measures, and Atropos cuts, thus ending the mortal's life. This is 3 patterns, each representing one of the sisters. You string them all together with one long thread of life. I love this strong metaphor, and I believe it would be a pleasure to stitch. It doesn't look very complicated. So let's go further, and number 9 in my list is the project that based on the painting of Lucy Campbell, and that is how she is describing herself. I am a painter and picture storyteller, working from home in my native Scotland, where I am surrounded by big beautiful hills and woods and wild things. I am inspired by the wild, its lore and its creatures, I also love the wild inside and the symbols we use to express what goes on in there. One of her beautiful paintings was adopted to cross-stitch project. I'm not always a big fan of such transformations. Sure thing, cross-stitch designers use sometimes illustrations of creators, but it is not always the case that cross-stitch designs looks as good as an original illustration, without being very complicated to stitch. However, this design, I believe, would be easy to stitch, and I would happily be one of those stitchers. This cross-stitch kit is called Gentle Spirit and produced by a Russian company named RTO. And before I show you my last choice, number 10, I want to remind you shortly about Greek myth of Europa. This myth is about a beautiful girl that was abducted by Zeus, the chief of the Greek gods. The remarkable thing is that this girl gave her name to the whole continent of Europe. Her story has been particularly popular since the ancient times and has been depicted in many ancient pieces of ceramics and coins. Moreover, it touched the painters who created many impressive and inspired pictures. The most popular myth about Europa says that she was the daughter of a king and later became a wife of Zeus, the king of gods. And according to the legend, Zeus once saw her on the seashore playing with her friends. He was so captivated by her beauty that he fell in love with her. Immediately, he took the form of a bull and approached her. Europa looked at the extraordinary animal curiously and dared to touch him because he appeared so calm to her. Later, she climbed on his back, and as soon as she did so, Zeus ran to the sea and carried her all the way to the island of Crete. This myth inspired many painters to create their paintings, including Valentin Serov. And this is the reproduction of his picture. And already based on the reproduction of Serov was created such a cross-stitch kit, the abduction of Europa. So, here were my top 10 for this year. Please let me know in the comments below if you find something interesting for you and which design was your favorite. Thank you for spending time with me, and this is it for today. So I hope to see you in my next videos. Bye bye!